Solver Podcast. This is episode 17, and we're at Go Live Vegas Studios, which is the best podcast studio in Las Vegas. It's not even close. We're in the capital, the entertainment capital of the world, Las Vegas. And listen, I'm very happy to be here today. I'm here with Aaron, who always pushes my buttons, and I'm sure he's going to get me upset sometime today. Right, Aaron? Charlie. What's Charlie putting questions already? We got questions already from Charlie. Charlie Griffith. He's the #1 Crime Solver fan. Listen, guys, we're starting out with a ton of people on TikTok already. We got people all over, people asking questions already. We're going to have a great podcast. But the first thing I want to go over, folks, just the first thing I want to go over, tomorrow night, 2020, you will see me on 2020 for Bodies in a Barrel, the Lake Mead incident from a year ago. If you guys remember the body they found in a barrel, and then they found about 5 more bodies at Lake Mead last year. Well, my podcast, I was a co-host of the Problem Solver podcast back then. We went viral over that. So 2020 is going to take some of my TikToks on the body in the barrel. So I will be on 2020 with that, and you'll probably see me in the background of the podcast. So I will be on 2020 tomorrow, 10 p.m. Make sure you watch 2020 tomorrow, folks, because I will be on, and I'll be the Lake Mead body in a barrel. Now, last year, Lake Mead was descending quickly. That's why all the bodies were starting to show. They thought it was the mafia, all that stuff. The lake is now going up. The lake went up 3 feet in like the last week, and it's supposed to go up 36 feet by September. So the lake is getting better, folks. I promise you. Will we find more bodies out there in Lake Mead? Probably, because the lake did go down a lot. So we'll have to wait and see this summer. But honestly, folks, that's what I'll be on 2020 for tomorrow. So make sure you watch, DM me, text me, whatever you want to do if you see me tomorrow in 2020 and say, yo, I know that guy. I know that guy. But listen, I got one other story to tell you, and then we'll get on. We'll start taking your calls. Aaron, the producer of my show here at Go Live Vegas. First off, Aaron needs to get to 10,000 followers. He's 500 away. You guys would do me a great favor if you could follow Go Live Vegas Studios, where we do the podcast at Go Live Vegas. At Go Live Vegas, folks. If you could follow him, it would be awesome. I would so appreciate it, okay? Now, listen. Aaron was at the bank today, okay? And when he was at the bank today, he was talking to this lady, and he asked her if she likes true crime. He said, because we're thinking about making a podcast series and charging 99 cents for a detective explaining how to do a homicide case. The lady said, I would definitely watch that. She goes, I watch true crime right now. I'm a big fan of true crime. And Aaron goes, really? Who do you follow? She brings up her TikTok and shows him the Crime Solver. What are the odds? This lady follows me. So listen, I got to give a shout out to, okay? We're going to give a shout out to Jackie at First American Financial Credit Union. Jackie at First let me get this straight. First American Financial Credit Union. You got a shout out for watching the Crime Solver here. Way to go, Jackie. Aaron, did she say I was the best in true crime? Yep, she did. She said I was the best. Uh-oh, we are jammed up on TikTok for some reason. TikTok went out. I don't know what happened on TikTok. All right. So, folks, let's get into a couple things here. There's a couple things going on this week. We got the motion. Yep, they're all saying they lost this. TikTok's gone. Oh, did we get banned live maybe? All right. All right. All right, good. Okay, we're sorry, folks. We got screwed up. Something happened on TikTok. I don't know if we got banned or whatever because of something we said. I'm not sure. TikTok like froze for some reason. They're trying to get it back up now. Sorry, Charlie. All right, guys, listen. I'm going to open the phone lines now that TikTok went out. 1-833-847-7227. 833-847-7227. We'll take your calls, whatever you guys want to talk about today. I'm going to start out with the motion hearing in the Idaho case. So what they did with the Idaho case, folks, Kaylee's parents have filed a motion to lift the gag order. And honestly, I don't know why, because I don't think the parents were part of the gag order. So I'm not really sure why why the parents have filed this motion to lift the gag order. I'm not positive at all. If anybody knows, I tried to Google it. I tried to do all kind of stuff with it, but I can't find out why that is at all. Did we lose it, Aaron?
No, we're all back.
It's not showing at all here, though.
It'll be back in a second.
All right, TikTok, we're going to be back. Sorry about that. I got thrown off. So if you want to call in about the motion hearing, 833-847-7227. 833-847-7227. Phone lines are open. So what we're talking about with this gag order, okay? She filed this motion, and also there was other news stations that filed the motion. They had 50 news Oh, we're back up. Oh, and that looks perfect. You had it back to the left. There it is. Perfect. Up, not now. Okay, 50-some news organizations, folks, filed the motion to lift the gag order. 50-some news organizations, okay? And what the Idaho Supreme Court says is they said, no, you have to go back and have the judge lift the order. The Supreme Court would not. And this is what the Supreme Court said. And this makes a lot of sense. The Sixth Amendment, you got the Sixth Amendment and you got the First Amendment. You got the freedom of press, and then you got a freedom of a jury of your peers, a fair trial. Okay? So the Supreme Court was saying they had to weigh both. Okay? Because if they lift the gag order, then you're hurting the Sixth Amendment of a fair trial. Okay? But then if you have the gag order, you're hurting the First Amendment of free press. So the Supreme Court said they're going to leave it in that judge's hand and let him decide. So the Supreme Court, they decided not to go with the motion. Yep. It's TikTok's acting up again. All right. Try again, it says too. Folks, anybody could hear me on TikTok? Let me know. The gag order is weird. It had to apply to those who worked on the case somehow. Family got included. Yes, I totally agree with you. The guy, it's totally weird, that gag order. I don't know. To me, it's not the family, so I don't know why the family is filing this gag order. I have no clue why they're filing it at all. And now the press did too, so I'm not sure. TikTok, I'm sorry, we're trying to get back on. Something happened. Something happened on TikTok. All right, so let's move on. We'll move on to that. We're going to go on to, Charlie, I feel sorry for you on TV. Oh, no. I feel sorry for you. Him on TV. Oh, no. Charlie, call in if you got a question. TikTok's acting up. We want to make sure we have things going on here. Guys, here's another thing I want to go over why we're off TikTok. Henry Ruggs, Las Vegas player, former Las Vegas Raiders player, Henry Ruggs. He waived his preliminary hearing yesterday, okay? Waived his preliminary hearing, and they're saying a deal has been made where he is going to plead guilty to DUI manslaughter. Okay? So he's going to plead to DUI manslaughter. Rumor is 3 to 10 years he's going to get for that. 3 to 10 years for DUI manslaughter he's going to get. Now, folks, listen. I know he's a Raiders player, and I'll be honest with you. I thought because he was a Raiders player, I thought that we would not get any sentence on him. So am I happy with the 3 to 10 years? I think it should have been more to 5 to 10. I mean, he took this lady's life. All this lady was doing is driving. And all he had to do that night was pay for an Uber. They got a receipt that he had 20 drinks that night, Henry Ruggs. 20 drinks he had. So he pled guilty to the DUI. Will he ever be in the NFL again? Who knows, folks? Who really knows? And TikTok, I'm glad you're back. I'm sorry we got knocked off. I apologize, guys. But TikTok is back, and I appreciate it. Listen, I got a good question right before TikTok got knocked off. And it was from Nashville Reels. He asked me, do you think they cover cases more when somebody's attractive looking than when they're not? And you know what? That's a question I never got. And I'm going to be honest with you. I think yes. I think cases the press will handle and the news will put more case on about people that are attractive. Okay? Think of that one girl that killed her boyfriend in the shower, unalived him in the shower. God, I can't think of her name. Oh, it's drawing a blank on me right now. But I believe she got press coverage because she was an attractive girl. Do I think the news covers cases of victims that are attractive more, or suspects that are attractive? Without a doubt. So Nashville Reels, Jodi Arias, exactly. Jodi Arias, exactly. You're totally right. I believe that case was totally put out there in the press because she was a pretty woman. She was promiscuous, if you want to say that. Okay, and she put it out there. And I think that's why the press ran that case so much. So Nashville Reels, I think you're right. I think if you get an attractive victim, I think if you get an attractive suspect, the news handles the case more. I totally agree with you, and it's totally unfair. Some cases are way more, and they don't even see the news that attractive people get. I totally agree with you. Put my chair down a little bit. I totally agree with you. 100%. Folks, the phone lines are open. 1-833-847-7227. 1-833-847-7227. Now listen, folks, one other thing I want to go over with, and what I'm going to go over with is they subpoenaed one of the victims that lived in the Idaho case. The defense subpoenaed her. She lives in Washoe County here in Nevada, okay? And they wanted her to come back to Idaho for the preliminary hearing. They say that she's seen something, not just seen something. They're saying that she's seen something that could clear Bryan Kohberger. So a lot of people don't understand that. They're not just saying she's seen somebody in the house. The defense is saying they're subpoenaing her because she could clear Bryan Kohberger. So now her attorney filed to fight the subpoena, and now they made an agreement that the defense is going to Nevada, to Washoe County, Reno, Nevada, and they're going to interview her. They're saying she knows something. Now, a lot of people said it was private investigators that interviewed her from the defense, but the truth is she never was interviewed by the defense. She was only interviewed by the police, but they're saying in some of the police reports that there's something in there that she's seen that could clear Bryan Kohberger. So the defense team and their private investigators are on their way down to to Reno, Nevada, to interview her. What do you guys all think of this? What do you think? Do you think she's seen something, or do you think this is the defense ploy? Is this a ploy to start putting reasonable doubt in people's heads already before the jury picks? Because I don't know. You know, I think if she saw something, don't you think it would have came out by now? If she saw something different than everybody else? But the defense is saying she did. They're not only saying she did, folks. They're saying she saw something that could clear Bryan Kohberger. I don't know if anybody understands that. They're saying she can clear him. Now, let's see. Somebody said on page 5 of the affidavit state, says video evidence of the suspect downloaded. That she does? What are the chances there was involvement between them two? Nah. A relationship between Kohberger and her? I really doubt that. That would have came out by now. You know, I really doubt that one. I really doubt. But they're saying she has a video. It says that? Okay, listen, call up, tell me. The phone number's open. 1-833-847-7227. 1-833-847-7227. Phone lines here. We'll put you on live. I did not read that. I apologize. I did not read that she has something downloaded. That the person they're going out to interview in Reno has something downloaded on her computer? I did not hear anything like that. If anybody knows anything like that, let me know, because I did not hear that, folks. Not at all. But if anybody did, call in. Phone lines are open. 833-847-7227. Now, folks, I want to tell you something. I just went over to Henry Ruggs, waived his preliminary hearing. Henry was the Raiders player that was involved in a deadly crash DUI last year. Okay, and he was intoxicated. There's rumors that he had 20 drinks. Not just rumors. The prosecution has a receipt that he purchased 20 drinks that night. And he unalived a woman he was involved in an accident. He waived his preliminary hearing, and they made a deal. He's going to plead guilty. He's going to get 3 to 10 years. The reason I'm saying this again is because that's how preliminary hearings are. I could still see this Bryan Kohberger preliminary hearing waived. And I believe when they interview her, if she doesn't give them what they need, the defense team, I still think it could be waived. I really do. You don't know. These preliminary hearings barely ever happen. Do I believe it could be continued? Yes. And I also believe it can be waived. I definitely 100% think that. Okay, because it's known she can clear his name. Listen, if you think she downloaded something or saw something that I don't know about, please call in. Our followers want to know. 1-833-847-7227. 1-833-847-7227. Yeah, people on here are saying that she saw something that could clear his name. Folks, I have not read about any of that. I have not read that she downloaded something of something she saw. So if you did hear that, please, you'll make the podcast interesting. Call in. We want to hear it. We can all discuss it because I did not hear any of that. What do I think of the new evidence? Sandy, I didn't hear anything on the new evidence. Please call in if there was new evidence because I did not hear anything. I was on the Las Vegas Strip last night playing poker and losing all my money. So I did not watch the news last night at all, folks. Not at all. So, all right, folks. Now, she's seen something. You got the motion for the gag order. There's so much going on with this Kohberger case. But, folks, I hate to break this to you. We are going to be talking about this for a year. We are going to be talking about motions for a year. There's going to be so many more motions filed, folks. Believe me when I tell you. And then there was another person asked me, could they switch this from a preliminary hearing to a grand jury? Okay? That's another question I got. And yes, they can. At the last minute, they could take this to a grand jury. And remember what I told you with the grand jury, there is no defense. Absolutely no defense. Okay? So it's actually easier for the prosecution to go through a grand jury. So they could still do that. And then the defense can't put on any witnesses or cross-examine anybody. Okay? And that was a lot of questions people asked me. They were like, why would the defense subpoena her if she was going to testify? It's not a guarantee that she would testify in a preliminary hearing. She will guarantee testify in trial, but at a preliminary hearing, it's not guaranteed. They only put enough witnesses on at a preliminary hearing to establish a prima facie case. It's not guilt or innocent at a preliminary hearing, so all witnesses and victims will not testify. So that's why they subpoenaed her to defense. That would guarantee that she testifies. That would guarantee that she's there. That's why they subpoenaed her. Definitely. Okay, doesn't say the roommate having a video, but rather LE, the law enforcement does. Matches the timestamps on the phone. So they're saying someone's here saying, I don't know how true this is. There was a video on her phone and law enforcement took it, that she took a video. Folks, this is the first time I'm hearing any of this. I've been following this case for 6-8 months. So please, don't keep this info to yourself. Call in so we can discuss it. 833-847-7227. 833-847-7227. Wales is watching Danny Boy. We got Wales. Wales is watching us, Aaron. All the way from Wales. We got people joining by the handful here, Aaron. I'm telling you. But you screwed us up by taking it off the air for a little bit. It might have been me. It might have been me. I was just kidding you. Okay, I'm assure you it doesn't say that the roommate has videos. Folks, Erica, I totally agree with you. I don't know how people are saying there's a video. I have not seen that. I have not seen that she took a video. I don't know where people are getting this. I don't know what they're doing. Do you upload this video so I can call and rewatch it? Yes, we redo it. Yes, call in, Dean. Call in. You can rewatch it. We upload it to YouTube. We upload it to Facebook. It's 833-847-7227. Call in, Dean. We'll discuss this. Awesome. Dean's going to call in. Tell us what he got. We're waiting for you, Dean. The line is, and you press 1 when you call in. 833-847-7227. They got a good joke, Ed. Yes, I agree with you. I think that was a joke because I don't think any video was downloaded.
Oh,
I did not hear that one bit.
Yeah.
What happened there? No, I didn't hear that at all. Did somebody call in? I'm not hearing nothing. Folks, could you hear me? I can't hear it.
You gotta turn it up your headphones.
Where?
On the box there. The box.
What box?
The blue box right there.
I'm not going to do it. I can't do it. I can't see it. Folks, listen. As long as everybody can hear me, I don't care if I can hear.
You can't hear you say.
Okay. Listen, folks. Dean, I'm waiting for you. The phone line's open. 833-847-7227. 833-847-7227. Okay? Folks, let's go over then. If nobody wants to talk about the Idaho case, I'm leaving the phones open. You guys are telling me there's videos. You're telling me that she videotaped the guy. You're telling me it's going to clear Brian Kohlberger, but none of you are calling in. If you guys seen this, call in. Put it up. Let's talk about it. You're telling me all this stuff, but I don't see anything online. I think you're BSing us. I think you're totally bullshitting us. I don't think there's a video. Oh, here we go. They're going to call me. Hi, this is Danny, the crime solver. Who do we have on the line?
What's up, Danny? This is Dean.
All right, Dean, I'm glad. I was trying to bait you in to call me. I wanted to call her. How's it going?
Yeah.
Where are you calling
How
from,
are
Dean?
you doing today?
Where are you calling from, Dean?
I am calling in from near Washington, D.C.
Oh, awesome. I'm
Near
originally
Washington, D.C.
awesome. I'm originally from the East Coast. I used to fish the Potomac River there in Washington all the time.
Nice.
Yeah, I love it there. So, Dean, you have information for us.
Give me 1 sec. I believe that I still have you on TikTok in the background.
Okay.
I think I'm okay. I could hear like a delay of the TikTok live in the background.
Yeah, there's like a second delay.
Okay, I think I'm good now.
Okay, so what's up? You have info on this that I don't?
So no, I've been watching you since this Idaho case has been going on. I actually texted with, I believe, your assistant a couple of months ago because I'm very interested in this. I do YouTube, not exactly the same thing. I have my own podcast, and I do like touching on true crime things. But
Awesome.
You're one of the only sources that I really enjoy watching when it comes to the Idaho case. You're very truthful. I like how you're a former officer, so you know what you're talking about and you know what you're doing.
Yeah. I appreciate that so much because here's the thing. I don't like to do things just for followers. And I think you know that on TikTok, some people do stuff. If I think it's something false, I take it down. Like the other day, that I don't know if you saw that shooting in Texas that happened. I'm sure you did, where they just caught the guy today. It was a horrible shooting. I put that guy's picture up, and 2 of my videos went to like 200,000. But then I found out that the FBI actually put the wrong picture of the guy. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Yeah, the FBI put the wrong picture out, so I had to take both my videos down. And, I took them down, and it was actually the right picture. But that's how I am. I don't want to put any false information out there. I mean, I try to be truthful. So I'm very glad that you've seen that because I don't like to put any false information out there at all. At all.
Yes.
Even if the video's doing good, man, I don't want to. So do you have any info? What do you think of the Idaho case?
I think it's crazy, man. It's been so long since this happened at first, and it took a few days for it to just kind of blow up. And it's crazy how, it's sad because it's happening in the world every single day. This case just keeps elongating, and it is sad because it's 4 young, beautiful, teens and 20s, however old they were. But it's more information just keeps coming out, and I think that there's going to be something big, as we all probably believe, that's just going to blow us away again, just like so many things have in this case.
I totally agree. What is your theory about it? I mean, I know a lot of people have theories about this. Here's my thing. I definitely think that BK 100% did it. I mean, 100%. Do you feel that way too, or do you think it's something else?
I definitely feel, who takes their trash and separates it and puts it in a neighbor's trash can? That's, pretty damning evidence. And, it's hard to say that, it's not him. All signs point to him. Is there someone else involved? Maybe we will find out.
Right. Did that bother you? I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. It bothered me a little bit that it took so many hours to call the police. That did bother me in the beginning of this.
I agree. It's odd. It doesn't make sense to me.
It don't make sense to me either. I'm sure we're going to find out about this case as it goes on, but I don't know how a murder like that could happen, right? An incident like that could happen and you don't hear it. It definitely bothered me. I'm not going to lie, and I don't want to. Them kids are so traumatized by this. I don't want to give them any more trauma by saying they should have called the police. But I'll be honest with you, it's going to be brought up in court. You know it is.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, that defense attorney is going to say, you took 9 hours to call the police? Why would you take 9 hours? And then if it's true, and we're all going by what's truth it is, but if they called somebody else before they called the police, the defense is going to go after that. They're going to you decided to call your family or your friends before you called the police? You know, it's definitely going to be something brought up. You know that. I know that. It's going to because what defense attorneys are salespeople, so they're going to try to sell stuff to that jury that these roommates are lying. They're going to try to sell that the roommates are lying. They are, you know.
Well, I'm sure you've seen that was going around. I don't know who the call was made to. It was like that one mom that called in, and she was saying that everyone knew before the police were called. There was videos and pictures. I'm sure you saw that.
I did see that.
Have you seen that video?
Yes.
What do you think of that?
That's crazy. That's what I don't get. I mean, I know they're kids. I know. I mean, they're 20-some years old. And I think back on when I was 20-something. But you know what? To be honest with you, I was a cop at 20 years old. So I was a cop so young. But if I think about my 20s, I probably shouldn't have been a cop that young because we don't think right. You know what I mean? So I understand that they were nervous, but I just don't know how you call everybody else before you call the police. I just think that when it comes to trial, even though I don't think it's a huge deal, I think the defense is going to make it into a big deal. They're gonna, 100%.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
as they should. You know, I mean, as they should.
Yes, and her seeing BK leaving, you know, they're going to really hammer her. They're going to be like, are you sure it was him? Are you sure it wasn't somebody else? You're saying it was this. That poor girl's going to be a big part of this case.
Yes.
A big part.
It is.
And they're going to try to discredit her because she is going to be a big part. What do you think of them saying they're going to Reno, Nevada to interview her? What do you think of that? I believe Kaylee, right?
I think that, I think they should. I definitely think they should interview her.
Yeah.
I hope that we get to hear, I hope we get to hear what happens in the interview.
I know. See, I don't think we will because of the gag order.
I don't either.
You know what I mean? I think they'll go out there, but I think we'll know a little bit. And let me tell you why I think that. What'd you say your first name was again? I'm so sorry. I'm so bad with names.
My name is Dean.
Dean, that's right, Dean. Dean, what I think is we'll know because if they go out there and it doesn't go good, they'll squash that subpoena. The defense won't subpoena her. Yeah. But if it goes good, the defense will subpoena her. And the reason they're subpoenaing her, and I was trying to tell people in my videos, is in a preliminary hearing, not all the witnesses and victims testify. I don't know if you know that. Are you familiar with the law at all, or were you a cop? Or
a little bit.
Okay.
I took a few criminal justice classes in college for fun.
Yeah, and see, preliminary hearings, there's this thing they call in preliminary hearings. It's just called prima facie. And what prima facie is, the judge has to decide if a crime was committed, and of course, a crime was committed, right? We all know that. And was Bryan Kohberger probably involved? Not guaranteed involved, not just probably. It's just a probably. And that means he's going to send it to the jury. Okay, so it's not guilt or innocence, so they only have to establish that. So what they'll do is they'll put the police officer on the stand, and he'll say he showed up there and there was 4 people unalived. So that establishes the crime, and then they'll put somebody on the stand, like maybe the lab technician with the touch DNA or something, to make BK part of the process. And that's all they're going to do. Was he probably involved? Was there a crime? And, of course, that's all they need to do for a preliminary hearing. So it's not guaranteed that she'll testify. That's why they'll subpoena her. I hope you understand. I hope that wasn't confusing.
Yeah. That's a little more clear, yeah.
Yeah, so that's why. I mean, they'll only put maybe 3 or 4 people on the stand for a preliminary hearing. They just got to establish that prima facie. It's not guilt or innocence. It's basically, was he probably involved? Not without a reasonable doubt, probably. And then that means the judge says a jury should hear this. Now, a lot of people on my things are saying, should he take it before a judge or a jury? They're not going to be taken before a judge. They want a jury to hear this, not a judge. A judge would be if there was some kind of like technicality in the law. You know what I mean? Then they want it before a judge.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So what do you think's going to happen? I want somebody else's opinion. You sound like you're into this true crime. What do you think's going? You think he's going to be convicted?
You know,
You don't know. You're right.
I sit on TikTok. You know, I dedicated time. I try to like everything with Idaho, just so I can get every single bit of information, even if it's like the craziest theory out there, like a freaking alien. You know, back when we didn't know what was going on. But you know, it's sad to say he may not, because of it and things that, you know, that we may be thinking. If something crazy comes up, or if Bethany has something to help out Brian, that's what's being said on TikTok. You know, I'm hoping he will be. It looks like he will be, but there is a chance he won't.
I know. And listen, just before you get off the phone, I just want to tell you 3 things that I think they're going to bring up. And this is only what we know now, because don't forget, there's a gag order, so there's going to be more. Okay? So the first thing I'm going to think of is they're going to bring up her saying she's seen somebody else. That's why they went to Reno, so that's going to be a huge thing. The touch DNA, they sent it to the one crime lab, and then they sent it to another crime lab because the first crime lab couldn't find anything. They sent it to one that specializes in touch DNA, and then they found it. Now, listen, me and you know that could be nothing, but the defense team's going to make that into something. They're going to make that into something.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Why didn't the one lab find the DNA, but the other one did? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
They're going to, and what they do is, there's something, Dean, called a suppression hearing. And that's before trials. They try to suppress evidence, the defense, so that you can't mention it in trial. Okay? So I believe the defense will try to suppress that DNA evidence before the trial. And they'll have a suppression hearing saying, well, this lab didn't find it. Why should we believe this lab? And they'll have a bunch of them suppression hearings. They try to suppress evidence before the case. And what that means is, if they win that suppression hearing, that evidence cannot be brought up in trial, if that makes sense.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
wow,
so
okay.
they could try to do that. I'm not saying they're going to be successful. I'm just telling you different techniques that they could do. And the only reason I know this, I've been to so many jury trials and preliminary hearings, and believe me, I lost cases, Dean, that I thought were solid. And the jury comes back and finds them not guilty. It's a toss-up. That's why 90% of the cases in America are plea bargained, because it's a gamble for both sides, right?
We saw it with OJ.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, think about this. It's a gamble for the defense, because they'll usually, they'll offer them, just give you an example. Henry Ruggs, the Raider that was he's going to be sentenced to 3 to 10 years for this DUI, okay? 3 to 10 years. Now, if he took a trial, he'd have probably got 10 years if he was convicted. So that's what they'll do for them. They'll give him a lower sentence, but then if they take it to trial and are found guilty, they'll give him a higher sentence. So it makes people plead guilty. I don't know if you knew that. That's how they get people to plead guilty.
Yeah. I was reading how he's only probably going to get 3 to 5 because he's pleading guilty for it.
Yes, but if he said, you know what, I'm taking this to trial, and he was found guilty, he'd probably get 10 years. Yeah. So that's how they plea bargain everything. The thing with Brian Kohlberger, I don't see them plea bargain, is because the DP, I can't say the word or TikTok will take me off, but it's a DP case. Yeah. So the end result is the worst thing that could happen to him, so he's not going to plead guilty unless that was off the table. You know what I mean?
Do we have any word? Is he still saying he's not guilty of this? Do we have any word that maybe secretly he told someone that he did this?
I did not hear anything. And usually sometimes you'll get prison talk. You know, he'll talk to his cellmate, or he'll talk to somebody in the lunch line in the prison, and they'll try to get a reduced sentence by testifying against him. But I didn't hear anything like that. As far as I know, his defense attorney's this Ann Taylor from Idaho. And I'm going to be honest with you, people said she's very good. She's very good. Yeah. And she's a public defender. And Dean, I'll be honest with you, when I arrest people, when I was a cop and I'd arrest people and they would get a public defender, they'd be like, I'm screwed, I'm getting a public pretender. That's what they would call them. Instead of public defenders, they'd call them public pretenders. But I'll be honest with you, there's a lot of good public defenders out there. There really is. And they're saying this lady is. So he got a good attorney and he didn't even have to pay for it. That's what they're saying. Yeah, so it should be a good case.
$8,000 a week.
I know. This case is going to go. This case is going to go on for a month. Dean, thank you for calling in. I appreciate it. And listen, if you want to DM me, I'll follow your YouTube channel.
Thank you, man. I definitely will. And when does this come out on YouTube?
This will be right after the show. You have it. We're live on it right now. You can. It'll be up there. You can go right up to it.
Sweet. Thank you so much, Jay. Nice talking to you.
All right, brother. Nice one. Thank you. Bye-bye. Yet, they have to be because there would be an issue on appeal. See, I agree with her. I couldn't read her thing, but she's right. You got to have effective counsel. Okay? If they didn't go out there and interview her and they weren't doing all this stuff, at the end, BK could say he had an ineffective counsel. So they are going to do everything they want for him. And, you know, being a cop all these years, a lot of people think cops hate attorneys and attorneys hate cops. Honest to God, that is so far from the truth. All the defense attorneys I dealt with, I was friends with. Cops and attorneys are friends. Honest to God. A lot of people think there's like a war between them. There really isn't. And every time an attorney went after me on the stand, I realized he was doing his job. He's getting paid. He has to go after me. Okay? He's just doing his job. I never got offended by that at all because they have to do their job, these attorneys. They're getting paid. So that is definitely a false thing. People think attorneys and cops hate each other. They really don't. Honest to God. I was friends with the defense attorneys I dealt with all the time. Honest to God, that is not a true thing. Not at all. Hey, people are saying, hey, thanks, Dan. It's not personal. Exactly. Mike Texas Music said it's not personal. It's not. And that's exactly right. When the defense attorney goes after me, and I've had defense attorneys go after me, believe me, they told me I had a selective memory. They told the jury I had a selective memory. And you know what? Afterwards, we were friends. I just knew he was doing his job. The one day I got off the stand and the defense attorney said to me, he looked at me just like this, and he said to me, you know what? And I said, what? And he goes, they believed every word you said. They're going to convict this guy in 5 minutes. That's what the defense attorney said to me. So, honestly, folks, there's rumors there that cops and the attorneys hate each other. They deal with each other so much that they're actually friends. That's actually false. It really is. Let's see. Anybody else want to call in? Dean had some good questions. He really did, and he seems like he's really following the case. So, guys, call in 833-847-7227. 833-847-7227. Guys, I want to go over one other thing. I want to go over today. I know we got about 20 minutes left. And anybody want to call in about this? The Texas shooting yesterday, folks. Okay? I guess he unalived 5 people, one including an 8-year-old boy. And basically what happened was he was target practicing in his backyard. And I guess this is a thing in Texas. I never lived in Texas. Aaron lived in Texas. I don't know if Aaron target practiced. Didn't you?
Yeah, but it's not a thing in Texas.
It's not? They said in this area or whatever, that's a thing that the target practice in your backyard. So I guess he was doing this. So they went over and they asked him, please stop. Our child's sleeping. The baby's sleeping. Please stop this. Okay? He started yelling, screaming. They called the police on him saying he was harassing them. They called the police 5 times in 10 minutes. It said it took the police, 20 to 30 minutes to get there. By the time the police got there, 5 people were unalived. His ex-partner held him away from the police, gave him food, gave him shelter, and now she is arrested also, which she should be. She was hindering a fugitive. She was trying to help a fugitive escape. Not just a fugitive that unalived an 8-year-old boy. She should go to jail for 20 years just like him or for the rest of his life. Could you imagine putting somebody in your closet at your house, hiding them from the police, that unalived an 8-year-old boy? She makes me sick to my stomach. She makes me sick to my stomach, folks. And I'm glad she's in jail, and I'm glad he's in jail. And, folks, I hope they never, ever, ever get out. This world's a safer place. It makes me sick over that. Folks, and we had another case. Oh, my God, I don't know if you guys heard this one. I believe this one was in Indiana. A 75-year-old man in a nursing home unalived an 80-year-old man in a nursing home with a pillow. With a pillow. And they were in the same nursing home or something like that for 10 years together. Folks, every day I turn on the news, I wish I didn't turn it on because it totally upsets me. It makes me upset for the whole day. I swear to God. Oh, we're getting a call. Hey, who do we have on the line? This is the Crime Solver.
Yeah, Danny, it's Charlie, that pain in the butt from Pennsylvania.
Charlie, I was so hoping you would call because we kind of got knocked off TikTok before. I don't know what the hell happened.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, Facebook's been acting up too. So anyway, pal.
Yeah, what's
that
up?
bozo down in Texas, he should go away for life. That's it. Take her with him. I don't care. You take that many. It's just a shame. No, there's more kids going down for no damn good reason whatsoever.
Charlie, and I agree. And listen, I know what political field you're on, and me and you are sort of on the same road here. But what I hate about all of these incidents, now, instead of like saying, how do we help these victims, right away we turn this to politics. And it makes me sick. I'll be honest with you. And that's both sides. And I know you're a Republican, but that's both. And Aaron here's a Democrat. I'm kind of in the middle. Aaron will say I'm a fully Republican now.
Actually, Daddy, I registered Republican, but I vote for whom I want to vote for.
That's great, Charlie.
Not, straight Republican. I put Democrats in there, or should say help put Democrats in there and everything like that. I, do background checks of my own kind, like to see how much they do for us. But, that's how I am.
But I agree with you,
You
Charlie.
had something on TikTok about a guy that killed another guy with a pillow. What
Yes.
are they going to do? Ban the pillows now? Come on, give me a break.
Charlie, I agree with you there. Here's the thing. I mean, soon as these incidents happen now, we use them politically. Like, you don't go on CNN or Fox and hear, oh, my God, look at how tragic. Let's get this guy in custody. The first thing out of their mouth is political. The first thing. And we shouldn't do that. It shouldn't be about politics. It should be about these victims. But what we do is we politicize everything in this country now. Everything is politicized, and it makes me sick. It really does. We got an 8-year-old boy who's unalived, and CNN's pushing their agenda, Fox is pushing their agenda. How about just helping these people because they're Americans, not because they're Republicans or Democrats? When are we ever going to get to that again? You know what I mean? When?
That's right. Stop sending all this damn money overseas and put that money into helping our children. Protect the schools. Protect the kids.
Yes.
Feed the people that need to be fed. Stop this bullshit that's going on out there.
Yeah, and Charlie, just to give you, the Texas governor pissed me off a little bit. I don't know if you saw what he said, but he politicized it right away. He said 5 illegal immigrants were unalived. Instead of calling them just human beings, I mean, they were unalived in our country. As far as I'm concerned, they're Americans. Okay? They're living in our country, and they were unalived in our country. And he had to politicize it by saying that. And then he had to politicize it by saying the guy was deported 4 times or 5 times. What I want to do is I want to get back to America where we cry for these victims, we help these victims instead of being a Democrat and a Republican. Are we ever going to get back to that? I don't see it. I just don't. What do you think, Charlie?
Very true. Very true. I don't see it getting back to that, not without a big push from everybody. Everybody's got to be one together, like it was back in the 40s and 50s, back there.
Charlie, we had each other's back. Not that me and you are that old, but we were born in the 60s, right? And we grew up in the 70s and 80s, and everybody had their back. Listen, Charlie, here's the thing. Our parents' friends were able to discipline us, right? If we went over our friend's house and we acted up our friend's house, our parents' friends could whack us on the ass and send us home. Right? There's no discipline in this country anymore. There's no discipline. Every time somebody does something, it's somebody else's fault. It's not their fault. It's somebody else's fault. No, it's your fucking fault. You did the crime. It's your fault.
Yeah.
I just sick of that.
I went to school, and when I went to school there, I'm a little older than you, okay?
A lot
I was
older.
born in 57.
Oh, my God.
But I don't have...
You're a lot older than me.
I don't have gray hair like you, Buckwheat.
Look at this.
I don't have gray hair like you. But anyway...
You probably have no hair. You probably have no hair.
Yeah, my hair's down my back. I got a ponytail, pal. Anyway, I went to school. You did wrong. Teacher paddled your ass.
Yes.
And then they would call your house. And your parents would do it again.
Charlie, I went to Catholic school. Do you know how them nuns beat the hell out of you? They beat me up every single day. But you know what? I needed it. I was a bad kid. I did bad things. I deserved it. I actually like the view we have, Aaron.
retail theft to become a cop, right? I told you to leave retail theft to become a cop. Get out of here.
Charlie, I used to enjoy that. Honestly, I had fun doing retail theft. It was fun. So, Charlie,
Yeah, you just like looking at the girls. I don't want to hear it.
Charlie, listen. One last thing I want to get from you before you get off the line. Do you think that BK is going to be convicted in the Idaho case?
Truthfully, you probably don't want to hear this from me, but
That's okay.
I see a lot of holes in there. I could come up with a lot of things and say, yeah, but this, and this, But I don't know. It's like taking a coin, flipping it. Heads or tails. That's how I feel about that. Oh, and so there was a woman back here in PA that was found. The last video they have, or pictures, was her leaving a friend's house. They got her on the Ring camera.
Okay.
And then the next thing you know, weeks later, they found her body next to Interstate 80.
Oh my God! What town was that?
I think it was Stroudsburg. They found her out near.
Oh my gosh, that's where my girlfriend's from. She's originally from Stroudsburg. Wow.
You mean that the little kid that you're dating? That 20-year-old.
Listen, she's not 20. She looks 20. She looks 20. She's not 20. I'm not going to say her age because she'll get mad at me. But she's not 20.
Yeah,
she is a little younger than me, just a little.
Rockin' cradle. She's too good looking for you anyway.
Charlie, I'm old. Everybody's too good looking for me now.
Yeah. I don't want to hear it. Anyway.
All right, brother.
You take care, pal. I'm going to get off here, and
we'll see.
Be sending you that dog tag here soon, too.
All right, brother. Thank you, and I will talk to you next week.
All right, pal. Take care.
All
Bye-bye.
right, brother. All right. Folks, yeah, I definitely want to get on that again. And if anybody else wants to talk about that, I wanted to bring that up today. Aaron, that was actually a good view. I like that view. Aaron wants to jump in, but he's stopping himself. I could tell because Aaron definitely is stopping himself. He wants to say something about gun control or something. I know it. But honestly, I totally think we politicize everything too much. What does it matter if this 8-year-old boy was an illegal immigrant? I don't care what he was. He's an 8-year-old boy. That should have never been said. That should have never been said. And guys, I'm telling you, I told you, I'm 65% Republican, 35% Democrat. That should have never been said. We need to stop politicizing things. We need to stop making excuses for people. When people do something bad, they did it because they're bad. There's no excuse. We try to make excuses for everybody. It makes me sick. Okay? There's no excuses. This guy did this thing in Texas because he's an evil person. And that's the bottom line. There's no excuses. Oh, Charlie's putting pillow control. Pillow control. Honestly, that case in the nursing home, I think the guy probably had dementia, which was really sad. I mean, really, really sad. So listen, I have a couple other things I want to go over. One thing I want to go over is Bam from the show Jackass. I don't know if you guys remember from the reality show Jackass. He was arrested this week, folks. I guess he assaulted his brother, and then he threatened to unalive the whole family. There was like this manhunt for him in the Philadelphia area. All over the Philadelphia area, they were worried about him. His mom was telling him to turn himself in, and Bam has turned himself in. And he's being charged with assaulting his brother. The problem with Bam is he has addiction problems. And honestly, we got to all pray for Bam. Because I like Bam. I used to love the show. All the people from his reality show are asking people to pray for him. He needs to get himself in rehab. You know, it's a sad case. Bam is a good person. All his friends, his family love him. But he's so addicted to drugs and alcohol. He's at this point where it's not going to end well for him. It's not going to end well. His friend Steve-O from the show Jackass, the reality show, Steve-O said he's already preparing for his unalivement. He already knows sooner or later he's getting the call on his cell phone that his friend has passed. He's preparing himself for it because Bam is that far gone, folks. He's that far gone. So listen, folks, anybody want to talk about Bam? We got 8 more minutes here. Call in 833-847-7227. And that's when it goes back to me with addiction problems. Addiction, we need to get people help. Bam don't belong in jail. He doesn't belong going through withdrawals in a jail cell. He belongs in a hospital where we can get him off drugs and alcohol and get him back into society. Jail is not the answer. Jail is for violent criminals. That's who we should save jails for. Violent criminals. Jails should not be in there for people that are addicted to drugs or theft. They should be for violent criminals. I've always felt that way ever since the day I put on the uniform. And some people probably aren't going to agree with me with that, but that's how I feel, folks. I really, really do. I agree with you. Do you agree with me? See, Aaron agrees with me. I don't think somebody that's addicted to drugs should be in jail. I just don't. I think we should get them help. It's a disease. And think about this. Say somebody commits, and listen, I agree they need to stop this retail theft in California, okay? So believe me, we can't just let people go in and steal. So don't think I think that. That is wrong what's going on in California. Totally wrong. But my thing is, we're going to put somebody that's have an addiction problem in jail with people that are unalive people or committed violent crimes. And what's going to happen? You put people in that environment, they become violent themselves. Would you agree with me, Aaron? Because they have to survive in that environment. So they're going to change. They're going to become violent. So our jail system don't work. So that's my 35% Democrat part of me. I think we need to reform the criminal justice system. I really 100% do. I think it don't work right. I really don't. I think it needs to be reformed. I definitely do. I don't think people should be in jail for misdemeanor offenses. I mean, that's dumb. I don't know if people realize this. We have more people in jail than any country in the world. Could you imagine that? That's crazy, folks. And that, to me, shows that we're putting people in jail for misdemeanor offenses. When we should be concentrating on violent crimes. People that are violent should not be on these streets, okay? To protect our kids and stuff. That's just mine. That's just my feeling. I could be wrong. I'm never saying I'm always right. I just pretend I'm always right. Right, Aaron?
You're always right.
I'm always right. Folks, listen. I don't know, and this is going to be to my TikTok followers, okay? This is my TikTok followers. We are going to do a series. TikTok came out with this new thing called the series, okay? And it's something like an educational thing. Some people are baking cakes. Some people are doing things. Me and Aaron want to do a thing. We're thinking about doing a case where showing the life of a homicide detective, how you would solve a homicide, and a step-by-step, and we're going to put it, it's going to be called the series on TikTok. We're going to charge, TikTok's letting us charge for this. We're only going to charge 99 cents. Would people be willing to hear that on just a homicide case where a detective shows, or should we do it like we're investigating a pretend investigation of the Idaho case, like how we would have done it, or maybe the John Benet Ramsey case, okay, and how we would have tried to run that case from beginning to end. Let me know what you think, folks. DM me. We're going to do this within the next week. We're going to have a series up on TikTok. I just want to know what you guys want to hear. I don't want to, it's going to take us a couple days to do this, so I don't want to do it half-ass. We want to do it good. We want to show the ins and out of a homicide investigation, okay? And we would charge, TikTok's letting us charge for this thing called the series. It's a new thing. You could charge 99 cents to like $20. We are going to charge the minimum 99 cents for it. Honest to God, folks. But we're definitely going to do it. And what'd you say? Yeah, to help pay for everything. Because, listen, Aaron is basically my sponsor. I don't know if you guys know this. Aaron is my sponsor. I need to definitely get Aaron up there to 10,000 followers at GoLiveVegas.com. No, just at GoLiveVegas on TikTok. Oh. Wait a second. No, they toss your ass in jail for a joint, blunt, Mary Jane, whatever you want to call it. You're right, Charlie. You're right, Charlie, and that's Pennsylvania. In Nevada, it's legal out here, okay? That's the other thing. How can it be legal in this state and not legal in another state? There's people going to jail for it in other states, and on the corner of Las Vegas, they're doing it, and everything's fine. Folks, we need to reform the criminal justice system. Believe me when I tell you, it's messed up. There's people in jail for Mary Jane. It's dumb. It's dumb. I don't agree with the police reform. Aaron hates the police.
I don't.
He's always on them. State guidelines. Yep. I was in jail once in college for underage. That's crazy. That's crazy, Merrill. This guy was in jail, Aaron, for underage drinking. That's craziness.
Cops need police reform. We need to-
That's craziness. You should have been released to your parents. That is craziness. Okay? Nobody should go to jail unless it's a felony. That honest to God. That's how I feel. I mean, that will clear our jail systems us. But let me tell you the reason why that's never going to happen. Right here. This is why it's not going to happen. Because our jails bring money in. That's exactly why it's going to happen. That's why you'll never get universal health care. And that's why you'll never get reformed criminal justice. It's right here. With our United States of America, it's always the ultimate dollar. That's what it comes down to. Would you agree, Aaron? Totally agree. You guys,
Privatization of jails.
privatization. Listen, and real quick, I got 4 minutes. I want to tell you something. I came from the Hazleton, Scranton, Wilkes-Barre area where 2 judges went to jail for 20 years because it was called Cash for Kids. There's a documentary out there. They were putting kids in the juvenile hall and getting kickbacks from a private industry that ran the juvenile justice system. The judges went to jail. It was like a made-for-TV movie. They were putting kids in jail to make money. Look it up. Luzerne County, Pennsylvania. Cash for Kids, it's called. It was a documentary. If you don't think it could happen, it happened in Hazleton, Scranton, Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. The judges were putting people in jail for money. And this was the United States of America. Crazy, folks. Look it up. I'm not lying to you. 100%. In fact, we can do another series on that someday. The other thing I want to do before we go is we're going to do this series on the homicide, but someday I'm going to go to Colorado and we're going to do a series on the John Bonet. And Aaron's going to go out there. We're going to hike the national parks out there and film a series. All right, Aaron? Charlie, feed the children, protect our schools, stop sending money overseas. I agree with you, Charlie. Listen, 1 minute before we go, I want to tell everybody, tomorrow night, turn on 2020. I will be on 2020 tomorrow night. Me and Dave Kohlmeyer, okay? What did you say? ABC, 2020 ABC. It starts at 10 o'clock. They already got permission to use my TikToks. I know they're going to show the podcast and stuff like that. So please tune in tomorrow, folks. 10 p.m., 2020. Me and Kohlmeyer will be on there. I don't know how much. I know Kohlmeyer spoke a lot because he has a big mouth. So I'm sure he's on there more than me. But I definitely will be on there. And please DM me if you see me. I love hearing it. I had people already see me in the supermarket when I was on Dateline. And they were like, hey, we saw you on Dateline. But I just want to give you a quick brag. My TikTok has been on 2020, Dateline, a newscast out in the UK called Brut, B-R-U-T. I was on them. So my TikTok has made 3 national news stations. So I'm very, very, very proud of that, folks. And it's all because of you guys. If I didn't have so many followers, no one even know I existed. So it definitely is absolutely you guys. Oh, My Texas Music, the topic tomorrow is going to be on the body found in the barrel at Lake Mead back in May of last year. So it's going to be about Lake Mead, the body found in the barrel. Folks, I taped the reality show for that. So I am still waiting. It has not been picked up. But because of what you're going to see on 2020 tomorrow night, I actually filmed the reality show for it. Thank you all. I appreciate it. We will see you next week. The best followers in the world and the best producer, Aaron, at Go Live Vegas. Please follow him. We need to get him to 10,000 at Go Live Vegas. Love you all.